there's a way to make an entrance.
This is my destiny.
It was now a conspiracy of witches.
Download Veely today.
What will be, will be. Oh my God. Here we go. We're going to know now. Wait a minute now.
This week we're in Bolton with £60,000 to spend and 4 days to find a house. As usual, the pressure's on.
Neil and Susan Derbyshire live in Bolton with their two sons, Daniel and Luke. They sold their old house a month ago and have generously moved out into the caravan so that the new owners can move in. With a budget of £60,000, they're after a 3-bed semi. They're not afraid to do some work to a property so long as the price reflects this. But the house must have a private drive. The caravan is coming with them.
We're looking for a house that we can stay in at least till the boys have left home.
There's definitely a garage to put the motorbikes in and all my tools and equipment.
In our old house, the boys had their own rooms. It were a 3-bedroom semi.
I'd like it to be local to the children's school and their jobs.
We've just been there 13 years and we've done everything to that house we felt we could do, and we just fancied a change or a challenge.
So we've got to find room for 3 bikes, a couple of cars, a van, a dog, a couple of budgerigars, 2 small boys and Neil and Susan.
Lying in the heart of the Pennines, just 12 miles north of Manchester, the Derbyshire's hometown of Bolton has a long industrial history stretching back to the 13th century. The main focus of the town is Victoria Square, which is dominated by the impressive town hall, giving a clue to Bolton's wealthy past as a major centre of cotton manufacturing. Whilst the average price of a terraced house in Bolton is £36,000, less than half the national figure of £75,000, the areas to the northwest of the city where Neil and Susan are looking have seen property prices increase between 10 and 15% over the last year alone. Having already sold their house, the Derbyshires are getting left behind. We are really quite desperate because we feel that Susan and Neil were badly advised. They should never have got out of the marketplace when it's such a steeply rising market.
It was very good of them looking after their purchase.
It was very honourable, but it's not wise. No.
So a real challenge this week. We've got to find the Derbyshires a bigger house than they had before, but for less money because of the rising market in Bolton.
We're here at 130 Thornham Drive. It's a really nice area, isn't it?
It is,
What's your first impression from the outside?
Very nice. It's an area we've looked at, yeah. It's an area we've wanted to move to.
Well, let's see what the inside's like.
Okie doke, let's go in and check the inside. Thornham Drive is on the market for £67,000. It's surrounded by quiet streets and is in a good area of Bolton. There's a garage for the bikes, a drive for the caravan and rooms for all the family.
It is, isn't it? Similar style, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very similar.
And this is obviously an extension at the back.
Yeah.
And it's been built on, so you've got a separate kitchen and dining room, but are you okay with a kitchen that you can't eat in?
Yeah.
That's okay.
I can eat in front room.
He spotted it.
The garden's very small, isn't it?
Yeah.
The garden's
smaller
very
than what you
small.
have.
Yeah.
Downstairs feeling's a little bit too cramped for a family house, isn't it, really?
Yeah. You know, it's the same thing. It's location, location, location. You're paying more to be in this really good location, and you're ending up with a smaller house.
Property, yeah.
Yeah.
Must have been a very small house before the extension was put on.
Yeah. You know what? Even if you did knock down the wall and you opened it up and made it open plan going up the stairs.
That's what our old house were like.
Yes.
Yeah.
I still think that it would be too small.
Yeah, I get the feeling it's enclosed in,
Yeah.
You're just swapping one house very similar to another.
Is it worth going upstairs?
Well, I think we've seen enough from downstairs, really, to make up our minds on the property.
Yeah, fine.
Thornham Drive's location means you get less house for your money. It's too cramped for a family of 4 and the long, thin drive is no good for Neil. With the caravan parked up, he wouldn't be able to get to the garage.
While we were going round the estate agents, we picked up details of this house. Everything looked good. It was 3 bedrooms, detached, garage, right sort of money. What on earth could be wrong, we thought?
But all is not well. This vast electricity pylon behind me was not included in the estate agent's details. Clever photography meant that it was kept out. Just remember, the details are a jumping off point. Don't leave the house without asking key questions.
The Property Misdescriptions Act came into force in 1993 and should have put paid to the use of misleading language describing a property. But you may still find yourself looking over particulars that are a little flowery. Be wary of certain phrases. Full of character, close to local amenities, good access, cosy, easily maintained garden, and the most common of all, has potential. Keep your wits about you.
Yesterday, when we were pounding the streets of Bolton, going in and out of the estate agents, Neil and Susan were in the car having a drive round. They drove past this and they saw the sign. They came back and told us about it last night, and we rang up this morning and we made an appointment for us to see it. But it was them being just as proactive as us, and they found the house.
The house in Mendip Close is ideal for the caravan. Only 1 in 40 houses in Bolton have a plot of land this size attached. The question is, will it be ideal for Neil and Susan?
Small kitchen.
It's a small kitchen, and it needs redoing.
Unfitted kitchen.
Unfit for site wallpaper too.
But if you didn't need to eat in your kitchen, this is probably big enough, isn't it?
Don't be frightened by a house that needs some attention. If you have the imagination to see the property's potential and are not afraid of the work, it could offer you a great opportunity to save a few quid.
Bathroom, small, compact. Could do with tidying up, could do with cleaning up. It's a very small bath. Much the same as the kitchen, it just needs a good old...
You could get rid of that. Can you get rid of that?
You could fit a shower in that, or just have a bigger bath.
No, but...
It's weird, it's like with the bathroom and the kitchen, that it is priced at 50 and not at 60. I don't think there's 10 grand to spend, so fingers crossed.
It looks like he was planning to do work. He's done the double glazing, he's done the roof, he's done this room. It is one of those houses where the onus is on you to add the value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm prepared to do work on property. Done it before.
I mean, we had a word with the agent, and she reckoned that this would be worth late 50s, early 60s if it were done up.
It's very quiet. There's no traffic coming down.
No.
We're in a cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac, yeah. We were at last one, we're a cul-de-sac, yeah.
Very quiet apart from the boys somewhere down the stairs.
Yeah. Oh my God. We've been standing here getting a move on because there was another viewing at 3:15 on this house. It turns out that Susan's sister is viewing this house. She didn't know that Susan was here. Susan didn't know she was coming.
We got here
been
first.
really worried about the other person coming to view the house. They're going to come and say hello.
It's no good.
You probably will.
You won't want it.
And we were dead worried about the 3:15 person. What happens if you're wanting the same house? I mean, you were here first, weren't you?
Oh, yeah.
It's going to cause a family argument then.
No, she's not like that. I am, but she's not. No.
Mendip Close certainly isn't the Derbyshire's idea of a perfect house, but they can spot a bargain when they see one. In good condition, we reckon the house would be worth an extra £11,000.
But we've got one more viewing today, so we leave Mendip Close and Susan's sister behind as we head off to neighbouring Ramsbottom. Our next property is in Grants Lane, a quiet cul-de-sac away from the main roads. It has a garage as well as parking front and rear. Nice big kitchen.
Quite different. Again, it's not fitted. Kirstie's trick is always to put your hands behind the units. If your hand goes down, it's not a fitted kitchen. Chances are it'll be removed when the people sell it.
What's it say in the details?
Kitchen, electric cooker point, gas cooker point.
Yeah.
Important point is that if it says you've got plumbing for it or a point for it, it means it won't be there when you move in. It's just got a nice feel to it.
It has a more open feeling than any kitchen we've seen.
I worry this would become a corridor if you couldn't set up a table.
No.
Although if you're having people round, perfect. But in normal run of family life, even if you put a table back there by the double
By the
doors,
look
you
of
wouldn't be able
it,
to get
Phil,
past
you're
it.
not going to be wanting to go outside in a hurry.
No.
See, look, there's no garden to speak of out here, really. There's certainly no room for the boys to kick a ball around. And look at this. There's an awful sound of breaking glass. This is a danger to life and limb out here.
Builder's yard.
Kirstie would usually say, don't buy it, it would be soon to be developed into houses.
Well,
I think
it would
I'd
be
rather,
better if it were developed
yes,
into
it would be much
houses than
better if
that.
it was houses. That's the house is on the market at 57,000. We haven't been upstairs yet. 3 beds, 1 bath, they say. Reasonable size downstairs, but with a small garden. 57 already begins to look expensive. It's priced as a family house.
I wouldn't be willing to spend money on a property like this.
No.
I think we'd better get an offer on in that last one we just viewed.
Yeah.
We're not going to scare some, they'll be gone.
Yeah. Good ones are scarce, and we should move quickly.
The in-laws will have taken it.
It's an emphatic no for Grants Lane, but a resounding yes for Mendip Close. Unfortunately, they're not the only ones interested.
9:30, end of day 2, hotel reception. We have an extraordinary situation happening in the hotel bar just behind us. Do you remember Susan's sister that turned up at the Mendip house? Amazing coincidence in itself. They've now turned up late at night in the hotel bar to try and talk Susan and Neil out of buying the Mendip house because they want it. They went off to see something else and they've arrived to say the other house, much better for Susan and Neil, much more suitable. Susan and Neil on the edge of making an offer. Sister trying to talk her out of it. Family rivalry I've heard of, but this is something else. I don't know what's going to happen, but we've got to get it for Susan and Neil. They really want it. We're going to get it.
After several hours of secret discussion without us, Pauline agrees to let Susan and Neil have first shot at Mendip Close. In return, Susan and Neil agree to view the house that Pauline is recommending.
Still to come, our sisters meet again, but are these tears of joy or tears of sadness?
Find out after the break. Susan, Neil and Kirstie are in the house behind us. This is the house that Susan's sister has portrayed as the carrot to lure them away from Mendip Close. Susan's sister rang up at 8 o'clock this morning to say they were, in fact, going to make a bid on Mendip Close.
At £57,995, Strathmore Road is in the budget, but there's no room for the caravan here, so it should be out of the running straight away. However, the house is in very good condition, with a number of surprising bonuses, like a separate utility room and a good-sized garage.
I seem to get a better feeling for this property than actually what I did for Mendip yesterday.
Yeah,
Really?
no.
Yeah, I do.
Sue's grinning from ear to... Look at her! Look, she's grinning from ear to ear.
I think Sue's just relieved.
Oh, could that be Stephanie?
Stephanie is the agent for Mendip Close, the property we're battling Sue's sister for.
I'm very well, thank you, very well. Well, I'd like to put in an offer.
Do we still want to put in?
But it's going to come with a condition of... Hang on, Kirstie's just saying something.
I think we need to think again.
Stephanie, can I ring you back in 3 minutes? Okay, bye. Thank you. Bye.
Can we just go upstairs in this one?
Let's have a
Don't
look
you
at
think
the
we
bedrooms.
need to get this offer in?
No, we need to look at the bedrooms of this house. We may not want
We're
to
trying to
offer
make-
on Mendip Close.
If we're going to go with Mendip, we need to do it in 5 minutes' time
Yeah.
and secure it.
You'd rather have this one, would you?
Well, it's more family practical, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, we'll go with this one then.
Well, can we just finish off
Upstairs.
the rest?
Let's go and have a look upstairs.
Neil seems sold on this house, and upstairs there are no nasty surprises waiting for him. There's plenty of space for the family to grow into. Amazingly, Susan's sister might have been right. But what about the sacred caravan?
At the end of the day, are you saying that you definitely prefer this to Mendip Close,
Definitely.
Yeah.
despite the fact that you may have to wait in the caravan a number of months in order to get this house?
Sun's shining.
The sunshine.
I must say, I'm really, really pleased that the caravan has become a side issue.
Yeah.
How many times a year do you use the caravan?
4 or 5 max.
Does it make you think that 4 or 5 times is...
Not really relevant towards the house, is it?
It's the same thing. We always say, never be too rigid when you're looking for a house. Be as flexible as you possibly can be. By being too rigid, you could be knocking something out of the picture, which would be the ideal home. Strathmore Road had only 2 viewings in 67 days, despite being a really good buy. We were puzzled until we saw the particulars. The photo really doesn't do it justice, and there's little mention of the large rear garden. It sounds obvious, but always check the details that the agent provides for your house.
We're about to go into the estate agents to make an offer on Strathmore Road. We know the asking price is $57,995 and agree to go in lower at $52,000. We decide to call their bluff on the Derbyshire's budget. And guess what? I get to play tough cop.
We've just come from seeing Strathmore Road, which you're marketing, and we'd like to submit an offer.
Right. What sort of offer were you thinking of?
We'd like to offer you $52,000. Judging from the research that we've done and the other things that they've seen, we feel that that is as much as the house is worth. It doesn't fulfill every one of their needs. They have a caravan, and that is a major issue for them. In purchasing this house, they will not be able to store that caravan. But unfortunately, we're under a little bit of time pressure, and yes, they'd like to offer 52, but we would also need an answer as soon as you can.
Right, well, what I could do, I'll take the details that I need to now from you, and ring the owner straight away.
Are you able to confirm that the fact that they're not coming in to speak to your financial advisors, that will not in any way affect the status of their offer? And would a letter from a solicitor and a sort of mortgage promise from their bank be sufficient?
Possibly, but to be honest, we do like you just to come in and have a chat, because we're not trying to push something on you.
No.
But we do like to check just so that you're in a position to proceed, that's all.
If the offer of 52 is not acceptable, then there's no point in us going back anyway.
Okay.
They do really want this house. 52 is all that there is.
So 52, that's the maximum you can go up to?
Yes.
Phil's hard bargaining may have raised a few eyebrows, and we don't expect the offer to be accepted, but it will give us an opportunity to introduce other conditions of purchase with any further offer.
The one thing that's troubled both of us, I think, is the number of times estate agents have suggested that we see, or Neil and Susan see, their financial advisors. A number of estate agents are linked to people who provide mortgages. If you're going into an estate agent before you've arranged your mortgage, be very careful about giving them your financial details. And our advice is never go to the estate agents until you've sorted out your mortgage yourself. You shouldn't be looking for a house until you are aware of your financial status.
With an offer in on Strathmore Road, we all head back to the hotel to meet Susan's sister and give her the good news.
Last night when you came up here and you said you wanted to go for Mendip Drive,
yeah,
we were actually in the process to put in an offer in ourselves. But you mentioned another properties that you'd seen in Strathmore Road that you thought might suit us better than Mendip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today we've been out and we've viewed that property and we've decided that we'd sooner go for Strathmore and you can amend it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you sure? Are you sure? What are you crying for? You sure?
Yeah. We got more of a feeling when we walked in Strathmore. I got a real feel for the place.
It's a lovely house.
Yeah. Something I didn't get when I walked in Mendip. Yeah. Done us a favour there.
Really?
Yeah.
So can we go for Mendip now?
Yeah, you can put your offer in for Mendip. Maybe these lads will help you.
Yeah. Lovely. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, where are we, Kirstie? It's the end of day 3. It's been a
You
very
might well
confusing
ask.
day. I don't know who we're bidding for and scarcely which house we're after.
No, it's not so bad. The way to do it is to remember that the house with the nice garden, Strathmore Road, is the house that Neil and Susan have decided they want. We went to the agent, we put an offer forward of 52,000. The asking price is nearly 58.
Tomorrow we're likely to be rejected on the 52. The next step is to increase that to 55 and try and impose a time restriction on an exchange of contracts. So Neil and Susan know that they have a house to move into.
But the other thing is that after a very tearful meeting between the two sisters, Pauline and Susan, Pauline now knows that Susan isn't going to go for Mend It Close, which means she can go for it. We've tried to get hold of Stephanie, but not surprisingly, at gone 6 on a Sunday evening, she's not open for business. I don't blame her.
No.
But in the morning, we're going to try and put forward an offer at 48,000, which is just below the 50,000 asking price.
I think they'd accept that.
Yeah, I think that's a good offer. So it looks like at the end of day 3...
On day 4, we might get offers agreed on 2 houses.
2 houses for 2 sisters in a very sunny Bolton.
Day 4, and we await news on our offer for Strathmore Road.
I just had Roxana on the telephone.
Yeah.
Obviously your bluff about they haven't a penny more than 52,000 didn't quite work, because they have turned down 52.
You thought they would turn down?
Yeah, we thought they would turn around 52, particularly in view of the face that Susan made when you said, no, they can't go higher than 52. So what do we do now? This is the question.
Why don't we go in at 55.5 and see what happens?
I get on the telephone and raise Neil and Susan's offer for Strathmore Road to a more realistic £55,500.
Whilst I get news that will interest Sister Pauline about the offer on Mend It Close. But for now, let's leave sunny Bolton to see what you can get for 60 grand in different parts of the country.
If 19th century elegance appeals, what about this 2-floor Victorian maisonette in Victoria Place, Newport? With 2 bedrooms and off-street parking, this uptown property could be yours for only £63,500. On a clear day, you can probably see the Blarney Stone from this charming 2-bedroom cottage near Bantry, County Cork, on the market at £60,000 English pounds. Keen swimmers will be diving for this 3-bedroom semi in Northwich, Cheshire, within splashing distance of the local swimming bath. Yours for only £59,950. Golfers might be teed off to miss this stone-built terraced house in Bonner Bridge, Sutherland, right next door to the world-famous Royal Dornoch. Offers over £58,000, please. Finally, if you fancy something modern, make the move to Harleston, Norfolk, where an extra £950 over your 60k will get you 3 bedrooms plus 2 car parking spaces and a garden, all conveniently situated for the centre of town.
With our 4 days up, Kirstie and I left Bolton, but the following day we had news.
Huh? Yeah. What will be, will be. Oh my God.
Here we go. We're going to know now. Wait a minute now. Hello, Neil speaking.
Neil, hi, Phil here.
Hi, Phil.
What they have said is that they would very much like to accept your offer of £55,500.
Yeah.
They can't promise the 3-week timescale. I'm saying it's completely out of the question with 3 weeks. What I proposed was that they went on holiday for 2 weeks. The property was withdrawn from the market. Nobody else gets to see that property, and a sold board goes up, and the picture is taken out of the window of the estate agents.
Right.
And we have a 6-week exchange of contracts.
There's good news about getting the sold sign up and
Get the sold
taken off the market.
Yeah.
Have they agreed to that?
Yes, they have. Yeah, I pushed quite hard for that to happen. And
excellent.
thanks, Neil.
Okay, thanks a lot for ringing.
Cheers. All the best. Bye.
Well, yeah, they've accepted the offer and they're going to take it off the market.
Oh, God.
Very good.
Brilliant. Yeah?
Yep, excellent news.
How do you feel? Brilliant.
Very relieved. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least we know
we've got an home to go to.
We're going to be leaving that field sometime this year.
For those of you worried about Neil and Susan's precious caravan, we found them this site. It costs £130 to store the van all year, and it's 10 minutes out of town. I think that's a very good deal, and everyone will be happy.
I think that's a very good deal, and at least we've managed to find Neil and Susan something. We've turned from professional house hunters to finding homes for caravans.